Hello again, Dan Alasso, Making History. It's day 43, and I had a meeting Wednesday afternoon, or actually about lunchtime, with the provost and the dean. And this was the first interaction I had had with the provost since I was retrenched. And he expressed his regret that I had been one of the people on the list. And he said that I am an icon of creativity and innovation, and I'm exactly the type of faculty that BSU needs more of. This is quite true, and I do appreciate the acknowledgement. I also understand that the administration really had no choice in the matter. Once they had decided that they needed to cut faculty, there were very few options open to them on how to go about these cuts. The limitations on the administration that required my retrenchment are part of a contract that has been negotiated between my union, the Interfaculty Organization, or IFO, and the system office. And by the terms of this contract, tenured and tenure-track faculty can only be let go if their positions are eliminated. That's really the meaning of retrenchment. That's what retrenchment is. But the positions have to be eliminated based on seniority. And I was at the bottom of my roster. So I and the person one rung up from me were the ones who had to be cut. Now, the purpose of tenure, in theory, is that it provides some measure of academic freedom if a professor can't be fired for taking an unpopular position, or if their teaching or research or service work is on the wrong side of some type of controversy. There are probably some heroic stories of people who took a stand on an issue or wrote a book that defied some authority, and tenure saved their jobs. However, I don't think that has ever happened at Bemidji State. For BSU faculty, it's more about rewarding longevity. Now, I'm not going to say that older faculty are necessarily less active or less innovative or less amenable to change. But I will suggest that some senior faculty are probably a little bit less open and a little bit more stuck in their ways. And same as newer faculty, some are just ineffective. The difference is if they've managed to achieve tenure, or if they were hired with tenure, they can't be penalized. Now, I'm not certain that anyone would actually be let go at BSU for being a lousy professor. As I've mentioned several times in this retrenchment series, Bemidji State is a bit of a consequence-free zone. But it does seem to me like tenure undermines a set of incentives that might result in a little bit more active innovation, a little bit more responsiveness to student needs. That type of thing is certainly part of the criteria that's used to decide who gets tenure. It's just a bit weird that once a professor has demonstrated that, around year 5 or so, then they're set for life. I was also getting emails all day long from the president of the IFO itself in St. Paul, noticing that I hadn't yet voted on the new contract and urging me to do so before the poll closes Wednesday evening. I responded to her that I'm retrenched, so I really have no interest in the 2023 to 25 contract. Maybe that's short-sighted, but I don't really think my vote is necessary to do anything one way or the other than perhaps to swell the participation number that the union wants to be able to show to management. And I don't feel much of an urge to do that, given that the contract really hasn't done anything for me other than guaranteeing that I'm the one who has to lose my job. The provost and the dean also urged me to do my tenure and promotion application this year, because this is the year that I was supposed to go up for tenure. Even though it won't save my job, they said it would look good on my CV, And it would give me both bump privileges at other universities that might need a historian and what are called claiming rights at BSU if they decided anytime in the next 3 years that they once again need another history professor. This is a little bit strange though, when I think about it. If they decided in 2025 or 26, for example, that they do need another historian, and if I'm still living in Bemidji, why wouldn't they hire me anyway? I suppose that someone who had been retrenched at another school in the system could bump in and preempt the position, prevent me from getting it. And I suppose that they might decide that it's more in their interest to hire an adjunct or a fixed term person. All this zero-sum calculating is a little bit depressing though. Do I even want to be part of some game of musical deck chairs on the sinking ship? And as I think more about this, I'm getting more and more the feeling that this is a real question. Do I want a chance to reclaim a job teaching history at BSU after they've already retrenched me once? Is there actually a chance that this current situation is really just temporary and that in a couple of years the university will have recovered and put itself on a path to sustainable growth? Or is the universe trying to tell me that it's time to close the book on this type of work and move on to something else? Advocating for open ed, maybe? Teaching freelance online, maybe? It's only day 43. I guess I can devote a few more days to thinking this through. And if I have any brainstorms or if anything occurs to me, I'll be sure to let you know. But in the meantime, I hope you found that a little bit interesting. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you again tomorrow.